Thank you for watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel. You're watching the Solid Sports video blog, episode 99 of the SSVB. Today's date is March 16th, 2019. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Troy West, once again here with you as I do every week. Give you a quick review of the week in sports. Of course, we got a lot to talk about, especially in the NFL as free agency started on Wednesday officially. A lot of trades and stuff went down, so I try to break all that stuff down for you guys. NBA, a little quiet. Not a lot going on in NBA right now. We're just going to talk a little bit about Russell Westbrook and his incident he had in Utah, which is the second time. And we'll talk a little baseball. I'll give you my top 5 infielders coming up soon. And we got some injuries already that's going to impact the start of the season. And just what's coming up on the channel, more retro story stuff. With Sonic Mania and Mega Man X, Resident Evil 2, and also the new content is Division 2. I'm going to try to get Mortal Kombat 11 and Rage, still about 2 months away from that. But there's definitely content that I want to get into, so Division as well, probably in the near future. Well, I already did some Division stuff, but I want to do a live feed of Division. Might try to do it today, depends. But let's go and get started with the blog. MLB update. Like I said, I already got some injuries here. Luis Severino started pitching for the New York Yankees. It came out yesterday that he will be out at least until May, so he will miss the first month of the season for the Yankees. That's a big loss, because if the Yankees have any weaknesses, it's probably they started pitching overall. So it'll be up to CC Sabathia to ride that ship and the other young Yankee pitchers to toe the mound, and maybe the Yankees offense can carry him through that first month of the season. But he's supposed to miss the first month of the season. And the $330 million man, Bryce Harper, he's already injured. He got hit by a pitch, I believe, yesterday. Or it might have been the day before, in the ankle, in his lower leg. I guess he's day to day. I didn't heard any more about it. He's not significant. Just got hit by a pitch, and I think he's gonna shut him down for a couple of days for the Phillies. Of course, as I talked about the Phillies, there's a very interesting team in the East. Them and my Braves is probably the top 2 teams clearly in the East, with Miami. Washington, looking up at them, and also I hate when my mind goes blank when it comes to these things. But yeah, the New York Mets. Oh my, I can forget about the New York Mets. The New York Mets, which I think is quietly did some things in the offseason about getting Robinson Cano. So that division is going to be interesting, but. Hopefully Harper not significantly hurt. I don't think so. I think he would have heard something by now. So maybe he's just day to day. Speaking of, like I said, I was talking about the Yankees. Like I said, the AL East, always interesting division. Very tough division. Boston will be right there again. The Tampa Bay Rays is a sleeper team in the American League. Won 90 games last year, still didn't make the playoffs, so that's a team to look out for. I think the Orioles, like I said, being an Oriole fan and being here from Baltimore, Orioles stripped everything down. Adam Jones, as I mentioned last week, is even gone, so completely different team out there in this coming season. So definitely rebuilding. Toronto still has some talent there, but just not enough to compete in the American League or in this division. So. But we'll start talking about divisions and stuff as the season gets closer, and I have a special preview show near the season as well, so look out for that. But we're going to move on to my top 5 Major League Baseball infielders, so that includes third baseman, shortstops, second baseman, and first baseman. I did catchers last week, I did starting pitchers the week before, and next week I'll do outfielders, then I do relief pitchers. And that'll be the next 2 lists that I do. But let's start with number 5, Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals, of course. Made his name as an Arizona Diamondback, won MVP. I think the year before he won National League MVP. Of course, he brings what he brings to the table with his bat, but I think defensively he's pretty decent as well. So he comes in at number 5 on my list. Number 4, Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. Don't get talked about a lot, probably because the Reds has been irrelevant for the last few years. But they got a decent team this year. We'll see if they all can come together. The big trade they made with LA Dodgers, with Puig and Matt Kemp. So he got a team around him now. Let's see if his numbers even get better. Does somebody protect him in the lineup? And I think defensively he's a little underrated as well. So he comes in at number 4 for me. Number 3, Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians, second baseman. Little firecracker. His bat is underrated, but defensively he brings it. I just like the watch him play. He's excited to be. He makes it to number 3 on my list. Number 2, Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies. Of course, he just got paid about 2 weeks ago. A little bit after Manny got his money. A little bit after right before Bryce Harper got his. He's good. I haven't seen a lot of Rockies games over the years, over the last few years, honestly, but they have been in playoff contention, so I've seen a few games. And he's with his bat as well, but defensively he's underrated. So he comes in at number 2 for me. And number 1 to me was no doubt Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros, second baseman. This guy just brings it. I love to see him play. Of course, the Astros been on a lot because they've been winning. But I love what he brings to the table. He carries a big bat. Underrated power hitter, but he hits for power, but it's more for average. And defensively, he brings it as well. So he's number 1 for me. In the infield, there's a lot of people who could have put on this list though. But I did my research, but these are 5 I decided on. Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals at number 5. Number 4, Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. Number 3, Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians. Number 2, Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies. And number 1, Jose Altuve for the Houston Astros. And all these guys probably going to have monster years again. I suspect Votto to have a monster year with the more bats in the lineup. Goldschmidt with the Cardinals, can he handle the pressure of playing for the Cardinals? Arenado, I think it's going to have a monster. I think all these guys are going to have monster years, so definitely something to look out for. There's a lot of other people we could have put on this list as well. Machado, and it's a lot of guys. Freddie Freeman, with my Braves, I wanted to put it on there, but I know I would have done it because I was a fan. It's a lot of guys we could have put on this list. But these are the 5 I think that deserve it. So been consistent, not just last year, but over the last few years. These been not just top 5 infielders, probably top 5 as players as well. So that's my list of my top 5 infielders. Of course, next week I'll do outfielders, which is going to be a very fun list. So join me next week, and I'll do relievers the week after that, and start looking ahead to the MLB season. Let's move on to the NBA. Kind of quiet since the All-Star break. Of course, we talked about LeBron and all the Lakers drama, so I'm not going to touch on that stuff. There's nothing really new happened there. It's just now I think they said yesterday is a rumor going around that Jeannie Buss, the CEO and owner of the Lakers, considered trading LeBron and all this stuff is nonsense. So I'm just going to leave that alone for this week unless something significant happens. But I wanted to touch on the Russell Westbrook situation. Of course, they played the Jazz. I want to say it was Tuesday. I might be off by the day. I know it was earlier this week. And a fan recorded him, and you heard Westbrook say, you didn't really hear what the fan was saying that much, or what he said before. But I guess he just recorded because he knew whatever he said, he already enticed Westbrook to say what he said. But Westbrook basically said, I'll F you up, I F your wife up too, and all this other stuff. And yeah, I think Westbrook was wrong. He got fined $25,000. You can't engage with the fans no matter what. You got to restrain yourself for the fans, but this guy, they did some background check on this guy. This guy is like or some type of racist or something. Like online, he got a lot of inappropriate things on his Instagram page and all this other stuff. And the Jazz wound up banning him for life, which is, I mean, you think about it and say, okay, you didn't go to, but that sucks. If you're a fan, if you're a real fan of a team and you can't never go see him, that's a harsh penalty for him too. But he crossed the line. You can't engage like that with players. You know, players are human too. You don't just get to say what you want to say out your mouth to anybody, let alone, you know, a player that's trying to concentrate to play on the game, which I think, you know, it's all part of your heckling is all a part of the game, all a part of the process. So I don't think fans should just be able to sit there and be quiet, sit on your hands. But some of the stuff that allegedly that he said was even worse than what Westbrook said. So and he had problems there before with a fan. And Westbrook in this press conference was like, well, you know, they talk all that crap, but they won't say it to me on the street, which is true. You're not going to walk up to him on the street and say what you're saying. You know that you're going to be pretty much somewhat protected in that stadium, you know, because security and everything else and cameras everywhere. So, you know, so even if he is to get to you and beat the crap out of you, you know that you're going to get some type of compensation for it. But I like Russell. For all as Russell Westbrook, period, I like him as a player. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He brings it every game. I watched the game when they played against the Brooklyn Nets, which was a fun game. I think it was Wednesday night. That was a good game. Russell Westbrook closed it out, him and Paul George. The Thunder, very sneaky team in the West. That nobody, well, people is talking about him. I ain't gonna say nobody's talking about him, but to me, they the biggest threat to the Warriors. I still don't think Houston has enough, even though Houston been playing a lot better basketball. They beat the Warriors 3 times this year, but I just think when it all comes down to it, it's going to be too much on James Harden's shoulders still, and that's how Houston going to fall short. So as far as anybody beat the Warriors, I think it'll be the Thunder. And they play tonight, actually, the primetime game on ABC, ESPN. So huge game tonight. So if you're an NBA fan, that's a game to watch. Kevin Durant probably still out though, as he I think he twisted his ankle, so he's been out the last few games for the Warriors. But they banned two. They banned 2 fans. That guy, that particular guy, I don't know his name, and I don't care to know his name honestly. And another fan, I think, said something too, and they got banned. So it ain't worth it, people. If you're real, like, I know that would hurt me if I couldn't go watch my own team play live. You know, that would really hurt me a lot. But Russell Westbrook, you know, he's a little, you know, emotional. I don't want to say emotional, like soft emotional, but he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He don't sugarcoat anything. He don't hide his emotions. So, like I said, he was the only why he was wrong because he's a fan. You can't talk to the fans like that no matter what. But he's human, so I don't judge him for it. People need to be quiet, and unless you're ready to suffer the consequences. So, glad that they gave him a little fine. That's fine. I'm glad they didn't go overboard and suspend him and all that stuff, because, you know, he didn't really mean, especially about his wife. You know, he cleared that up. He said he had never hit a woman, never did. I don't think he was going to. I think he was just trying to basically let the fan know, you know, you ain't about this, so you need to go ahead and sit down and shut up. So, but I love Russell Westbrook. He's a great player. And I root for the Thunder, man. If somebody do beat the Warriors, I hope it is, though, Clovis. I think he deserves. You know, those people that just play hard, like him, Giannis, as well. That's why I'm kind of rooting for Milwaukee, too. Like, those guys that really know that I mean, everybody works hard. I'm not saying they the only two that works hard, but they don't play around. They give you all they got on the court when they out there. So do LeBron, too. But, you know, LeBron just got a little drama with him. But those 2 guys, they deserve to win because of the work they put in. So I'm rooting for them. Maybe they'll play each other in the finals. It's possible. Milwaukee is still rolling. They had a crazy win last night against the Heat. They was down 20 at halftime, and I was checking the score. Then I got up this morning to check score. They won by 15. I'm like, what the heck? What happened? Like, they shut them down in the second half. But Milwaukee's an interesting team. Like I said, a lot of people still leaning on Toronto, which I understand in the East. Like I said, Philly is right there. Boston, can they get it together? I still got hope out for Boston, but I like the Bucks. I'm starting to warm up to the Bucks to be a real contender for not just the East, for a championship. But can they shoot it last? That's the thing. Can they three-point shoot it last? Because three-point shooting matters now in this NBA. All right, but let's move on. Let's move on to the NFL, and we got so much to talk about with the NFL. First of all, the biggest trade of the week. Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. Like, that shocked a lot of people. It didn't shock me as much as, it shocked me, but it didn't shock. It wasn't like, oh my God, shocking. It's like, it was just, it's not, I've been shocked higher than, I've been shocked higher than that before. Because the rumors was out there, but I didn't think they was going to move him. But I guess the Giants are really trying to rebuild, and they got some draft picks back for him. But the Browns are for real, man. The Browns are for real. Speaking of the Browns, Kareem Hunt, that news came out yesterday. He got 8 games for his domestic violence role. Well, the video came out a few months ago, but this happened been about a year now since it actually happened. They was trying to, I think they said they were trying to give him 12 games, but they negotiated down to 8. Because if it would have been 12, he would have probably tried to fight it, and the NFL didn't really want that. So basically they came to agreement at 8, so that's what it'd be at 8. And like I said, I can't argue with that, that's right. Like I said, I said this before, this is not a popular opinion, what I'm about to say, but I've talked about this with other people. Like I said, domestic violence is wrong. I'm 100% against that. I got 5 sisters. My family is predominantly women for the most part, so I definitely don't condone domestic violence. But in that video, one perspective that just was what woke it to me. Well, it was people there holding him back. So maybe he would have did worse to her if people ain't grabbed him, and held him back. Maybe he would have really beat her, And what he did was wrong. He kicked her. Like I said, but I don't want to say an argument, but I just pointed out that, he sort of pushed her with his foot. He didn't when somebody really would have hurt you or kick you, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't wind his kick up and digged in her. He just sort of nudged her with his foot and pushed her on the ground, which is still wrong. Not saying that it's just as wrong as if he'd have beat the hell out of her, but I'm just saying he was in some type of control. He wasn't just, but you can't, when you're in that position, when you're an athlete or any celebrity, you gotta be mindful of cameras for one, and 2, you just can't, people they coming for you, man. They wait for you to fall. That's just how it is. Even with regular people don't want to see you succeed, man. They want to just tear you down, so unfortunate for him, but I think he learned this lesson, at least in my opinion. And, I don't know the guy. Everybody can speculate this and that. He could, he been in other instances, and that's why the NFL was trying to really get him, hit him hard, because he was in a bar fight, I think, and some other situation. So I think the NFL just wanted to, lay the hammer down to him. But I think these 8 games, I think he's gonna learn from these 8. I think he's gonna change his ways, hopefully, and keep his nose clean. But he was a talented person. Now, some experts said that he cost the Chiefs a Super Bowl last year. I ain't gonna go that far. The Chiefs still almost beat the Patriots without him, And I think they would have beat the Rams if they would have beat the Patriots. I think the Rams, I think Andy Reid would have exploited Goff, just probably not as bad as Belichick did, but I think he would have exploited Goff too in the Super Bowl. But I'm not gonna go as far as say Hunt cost them Super Bowl. He hurt their chances, but I ain't gonna say he was the reason they lost to New England. They still put up 38 points. It was 41-38 was the final score. It was a high score game, so Chiefs defense just had to step up and make a play, and they didn't. And that's, Tom Brady carved them apart. So I ain't gonna put that on Hunt. But I know he probably has some regrets. He might feel that way, and he has every right to feel that way. And everybody else that says that, but I just don't believe it. I'm not gonna go that far as put that on him and say that's why they lost. But the Browns, man, like I said, before they even made this Odell Beckham move, and that's going to be crazy. Him and Landry on the outside, Joku, the tight end. And you still got Chubb, the running back, even before Hunt comes back. Baker Mayfield, I think it's everything goes on. I think it's a lot of pressure on him though, because the team is set up for you to see. And the only doubt I have about the Browns is, not gonna lie, because they're the Browns. Like when they put teams together before, probably not as good as this one, but they had hope before and it didn't work out. But that's one reason. Another reason, the coaches, the first time coaching Freddie Kitchens, don't know much about him. It's his first year. He got to manage all this stuff, so I think it's going to be tough. But I just think the Browns got a good shot, at least to beat the playoffs, because of the division around them. The Ravens, they're trying to build back up. They went and signed Earl Thomas and Mark Ingram from the Saints. Earl Thomas from the Seattle Seahawks, because they lost Suggs, which I was shocked by. But Suggs, I read an article, Suggs just wanted to go home. So it wasn't nothing about the Ravens. That's what I was thinking, like maybe it was something personal that we didn't know about. But according to him, he just wanted to go home. He wanted to finish his career at home. So he always wanted to play for the Cardinals. He said it was just, he loves Arizona. He lives there in the offseason. He don't live here. So he never really embraced Baltimore as home, even though he always going to be a Raven, for sure. But he was just homesick. He wanted to go home, and this opportunity came to go home, so he went home. So no risk, can't be upset about that. Of course, lost Eric Weddle as well to the Rams, and lost C.J. Mosley to the Jets. And the Jets have made some little sneaky moves as well, and they got Le'Veon Bell, which is huge. A lot of stuff happened this week, man. It's just NFL is just nuts, And then we still didn't get to the draft yet. Where the quarterback for Oklahoma, where he's going to go, Kyler Murray, where he's going to go. So it's a lot of stuff went down. Antonio Brown getting traded to the Raiders. I think that happened last week, so I might already talked about it. But they picked up I think Williams from the Chargers. So the Raiders look like they're trying to put something together. Maybe they're trying to win before they leave or go to Las Vegas. But they already declared that they're going to play in Oakland in the Coliseum this year. So, but a lot of stuff with that. But they did some of the biggest moves. Le'Veon Bell didn't get a lot of people criticized him because he didn't get the money that he was shooting for. But he's out of Pittsburgh, and the Steelers, the bridge is just burning, man. Now it's going to Ben Roethlisberger going to have to have a monster year this year if the Steelers going to compete. But a lot of interesting moves. They was the two big ones. Like I said, the Odell Beckham trade was huge as well, and I think he just needed a fresh start. The Giants, though, I don't know what the hell they doing, and they still gonna play Eli this year. So, yeah. So a lot of big moves. You can check them all out yourself. But they was the ones I wanted to definitely talk about the Browns, because the Browns, like a lot of people put them in the Super Bowl. I ain't going that far yet. I think they can make the playoffs. I think they at least be a wild card team at the least. If not win that AFC North division, because they got the best team on paper, clearly in the division. So it just depends on if the Browns don't screw it up themselves and everybody come together on one page. The Browns defense ain't bad either. They lost in that trade. They did trade away the safety from Michigan. Dang it. Jabril Peppers. They did. He was included in the trade. So, but still, that front seven for the Browns. The Browns are going to be pretty good unless they really screw it up. Browns should have a good season. And the Jets, like I said, it's just that with Bell now, will Sam Darnold turn the corner? Just defensively, still got some holes there. And on wide receiver as well. The receivers need to improve, but I think the Bills too. The Bills, going off last year, probably be the Bills and Jets. I think the Dolphins. Well, that's another trade I just forgot about. Traded Tannehill. Miami traded Tannehill to the Tennessee Titans for some late round draft picks. And I understand that move because now Miami, where you go get your quarterback from, or they just go draft one, or what's going on there. So once they made that move, I was like, well, Miami might be a little bit of a sneaky team, but nah, now I don't know who their quarterback is. So so a lot of big stuff happening in the NFL. I can't wait till next season already, and we still didn't even get to the draft yet, but a lot of stuff happened this week. So like I said, a lot of teams improved. The Jets and the Browns to me stands out. Redskins made some moves as well. Signing Landon Collins from the Giants. Like I said, the Giants are pretty much stripped to nothing now. And they traded for Case Keenum as well. I think that was probably last week as well. Because Alex Smith ain't expected to be ready. Adrian Peterson going back to the Redskins as well. So the Redskins, not a bad team, but you know, is they better than Dallas and Philadelphia? Philadelphia gets Deshaun Jackson back in a trade with Tampa. So like I said, a lot of stuff just popped in my head that I still trying to remember. That was a big one as well. Carson Wentz now got a speedy receiver to go along with Jeffrey. They running backs, they probably got to improve their running backs on offense. So yeah, a lot of stuff went down in the NFL. Make you excited about some more football again. But we gotta wait till at least August for some preseason games. You know, and the draft is the end of next month. So, but that's all for the blog pretty much this week. College basketball. Duke big win last night over North Carolina. Virginia got upset in the ACC tournament. And there's a whole bunch of conference tournaments going down today. The championship games. Selection Sunday is tomorrow. So we'll know who all the 68 teams are by tomorrow. So definitely check that out. I'm going to be checking it out. That's when I really started getting into college basketball. But it was some good games. So I watched the Virginia game. Florida State was able to pull away and beat them. So it'll be Florida State and Duke for the ACC championship. I think Duke will win. Zion Williamson, that boy is the truth, man. That guy can play. He's probably going to be #1 pick now. I think only doubt it was he hurt? Was he really hurt? But the last 2 games he played, he didn't look hurt at all. So yeah, this tournament's going to be something. So I can't wait for that. NHL, I think it's still going steady as it goes. Still think it's Tampa Bay, I think, still playing for well. I've seen the Capitals shoot a few highlights. They playing pretty good right now. Defending champions, of course. Out west, like I said, I follow the Sharks. The Sharks are doing pretty decently. Like I said, I've been trying to fit into some NHL, but I just can't. Like I tried to do the research on it, but I just don't know enough about the players and everything. But I follow it enough. I follow more the teams than the players. Even though I like Alexander Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby, get that young kid in March. I want to say Edmonton. I forgot his name, but I watch hockey. Like I said, I don't forget hockey to the playoff time either. Regular season just be you know. So but yeah, let me wrap this up. Coming up on the channel, of course, I mentioned at the beginning of the blog, Division 2, my man, Fat Man Don Parker. Shout out to him again. My brother. We tag team and play that. We played a little bit last night, but we've been doing a lot of side stuff. So I'll try to wait till we do like some story stuff, and I'll record. I might do some live action today. At least I plan on to. And I want to do. I'm gonna finish up my Sonic Mania with Mighty today. There's only one more zone left, the Titan Monarch zone, which is the final zone. So I'm gonna do that today for sure. I'm gonna try to fit some Mega Man X in. I'm gonna try to do some work today. I'm off from work, so I'm gonna try to do some YouTube content today and put it up. Tomorrow, I'm not sure, but we'll see how things shakes out for me today. I try to, I ain't gonna lie, I try to get away because I work where I live, so I try to get away so I can feel like I'm actually off. So that's sometimes when I'm off, that's why I don't get no work done. So I try to do some work either late at night or early evening when I'm free during my days that I work. So but yeah, that's the latest stuff coming up. Sonic Mania, I think I did say that. Resident Evil 2, I think is what I forgot. Which that game was tough, man. That game was tough. That daggone Mr. X chase you around, man. Then you're trying to solve puzzles and he's on your back. So zombies grabbing you and biting you. So but it's a lot of fun. I love it. I love playing the games. And I love, like I said, I can't believe last week, well, the last 2 weeks I've been thinking about quitting the channel altogether, but I just can't. You know, it's just still my deep passion. So, and I hope you guys enjoy everything, and I thank you for all your support. Like I said, I have said I haven't gotten a lot of support, which I haven't, like, to my liking, I should say, but I know there's some people out there that's loyal, and I really appreciate you guys. Also, before I get off, I want to wish my sister a happy birthday. She turned, well, I won't tell her age, but her birthday is tomorrow. St. Patrick's Day is when she was born. My older sister that's still here living. And also had to be her wedding anniversary, so congratulations and happy birthday, sis. If you wind up watching this, but she ain't into sports, so I don't think she watched my blogs too much. But if she is, happy birthday to you. And to all my latest subscribers, I want to say thank you. PlayStation Network followers as well. Don't forget about you guys. Best player, thank you from over the water. Thank you from like London or somewhere over there. I thank him. He always following me and commenting and liking on my my posts on PlayStation Network. So I appreciate you as well. And to everybody that supports me, I want to say thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Episode 100 next week. Gotta put this up to something special. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna find a way to celebrate that, because it's been a lot. You know, we should have been there on 100 episodes, but I took breaks here and there due to my situations, moving around, not working, things of that nature. So I took some breaks, so we should have been at 100. But the ironic thing is, we almost 2 years in. So I was hoping it fell on it with the 2-year anniversary of the blog, which is April 1st. That was my first blog, April 1st, 2017. Was the first time I started recording blogs. So, but thank you guys. Like I said, I enjoy it so much. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you next time. I'm Troy West, and thank you for watching the Silent Sports Gaming channel right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. Silent Sports Video Blog, episode 99 is concluded. Thank you so much.